so this is a nice morning mobility flow. We're just going to go through a few movements, getting the whole of our body woken up. So let's start with a nice inhale, lifting the arms up overhead, a nice big stretch, a yawn, and then bringing our arms back down by our sides. Okay. Bring our feet about hip width apart, and just check that your weight feels nice and evenly spread to the four corners of your feet. Check that your knees are nice and soft and not locked up tight. Got a neutral pelvis. So we can give ourselves a little tip forward at the pelvis, a little tip back, a couple of times in either direction until we have that midway point where front of your body, back of your body is the same length. Think about being nice and tall through your spine, a little string attached to the crown of your head going up towards the ceiling. And let's take our shoulders up towards our ears and let them slide down. So inhale as we draw them up, exhale as they melt down. And again, this time let's rotate out from our shoulders, so opening across the front of your chest and letting your shoulder blades slide down. Okay, so let's start with our neck and nodding your head a couple of times, seeing how your neck feels moving up and down. And then let's turn our head, so think of this as being saying yes and then no, seeing how your head feels. So if it doesn't feel like you're getting a full range of motion, just check that your head is on top of your spine, that you're not holding it a little bit far forward. That's a key to getting full range in your neck. Allow one ear to drop towards one shoulder. Keep the shoulders nice and level, and then a little nod here. And then gently saying no. So turning your head. And again, being careful, listening to your neck and seeing how it feels. Over to the other side. So again, nodding a couple of times. And then almost like a little shake of her head. One side, then the other. Okay, let's take one shoulder, give it a little roll this morning. So you can have your arm feeling nice and heavy by your side. You can take your fingertips to your shoulders. And we can go in the opposite way as well. So we're just moving our joints, warming them up. Noticing any tension. And if one side feels tighter, spend a little bit longer on it. Other side just the same. Again, you can, if you want, bring the fingers to the shoulders. You can leave the hand down by your side if you wish. And go the opposite way. So we take that into a little bit bigger movements this morning. So taking it into shoulder circles. So nice and gently. And you can start quite small with this if you wanted, and then gradually get bigger. Going in one direction, exploring, seeing how you've got that full range of motion in your shoulders. And then we're going to go the opposite way. And bringing the arms back down. Okay. Let's come back to the middle of our body, our ribs at our side. We want to do a little bit of lateral movement. So I'm going to reach up towards the ceiling, keeping a little gap between our arm and our ear, reaching up and over to one side. So we're getting that nice stretch down the side of the body, bring it back to the middle, and then the other way. So again, you don't need to go too far, and you can repeat this a few times, maybe getting a little bit deeper each time. Feel that stretch come from the rib cage. So it's not just the arm that we're lifting here. We've done the shoulders, this is into the side of the body. Okay. So you can keep doing another couple like this. If you wanted to, you could take one foot in front of the other. So whichever's your back foot, that's where you, same side you're going to take your hand up. So for me, left foot's back, and we're going to go into that side stretch, a little bit more challenging this time because of the narrow stance, but you also might feel your hips get a chance to move out to the side, so a bit more into the side of the body. You can do the other side. This can be nice to do if you're near a wall, so that you've got something to aim for. You could reach over, touch your fingertips towards that wall, and then come back to the centre. Okay, it's a bit hip width again, and we're going to do a little bit of rotation this side, so reaching over and then the other way. So my feet are staying nice and still, and I'm gently getting that upper turn in my upper body, my rib cage, one side to the other. So we get a bit of flow into this because this is sort of first thing in the morning, getting ourselves moving. You can soften the knees. And we'll do one more either side. Lovely. Okay, coming to our hips, we can start with just a few circles, so pelvic circles, going in one direction, and I'm keeping my hips, my feet still a bit hip width apart here, so they're quite small. Let's go in the opposite direction. Again, check in with your body, see how that feels. And then if you wanted to, you could take the feet a little bit wider, and we could do that again, going in one direction for a few. And then going back in the other direction. Okay, so now that we've moved our main joints, let's see how our balance is this morning. So we're going to come on to standing on one leg. So again, be close to a wall. You can always pop a hand onto a wall or a bit of furniture if you need a little bit of support. Coming up into one leg, and let's say our ankle that's in the air, a little circle in one direction, and then going in the opposite direction. So for me, it's always just finding a point to look at in the mid-distance so that I can keep my balance. Bringing that foot back down to the floor. I'm going to do the other side. So again, weight on the one leg, and giving the ankle a little circle. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. Okay, a little bit more for our ankles. So again, being a bit hip width apart in our feet, softening your knees, and we're going to sort of do that ink blotter, so rolling through the soles of our feet. So coming back onto the heels, lifting the toes, sinking down, coming through to the forefoot, lifting the heels, pressing up, and coming back through again. So nice and slow. See if you can control this move, especially on that coming back down phase. So engaging your calf muscles and just getting a little bit of flexion into our ankles. Okay, and one more, and coming back down, and we can shake that out. Okay, so we want to get a little bit of lateral movement in our hips. Again, we can do that standing on one leg, so letting that hip slide down and then bringing it up. Again, if you need to use a little bit of furniture, hold on to it. Try to keep the knees quite close together, so watch for that leg kind of way out here. And small moves, so it's the hips that we're moving. One coming down and then back up. So aiming for about 10, and I've lost count, I think I'm about 7 or 8. And if you have a strong side, then you actually probably want to do 1 or 2 extra on your weaker side. Come back to 2 feet, you can always give that hip a little shake out. Bring your weight on to that single hip, and getting lifting and lowering, keeping the weight on that standing leg. Little hip hikes and drops. Keeping this hips of in, so you're not letting it drop out to the side. So you're working here using the muscles to keep that above your foot. And again, doesn't matter too much how many we do, we're just trying to do some work for each side. And again, giving that a little shake out. Okay, we're not quite done with the hips. We also want to see how they feel just coming into a bit of flexion to the front, and then opening the hips in and the foot behind. So when you from the side, bringing the knee up to about parallel with the hip if you can, and if it's not, if it's down here, that's fine. Keeping the body nice and tall, and then opening the front of this hip by touching the toe to the floor behind. Okay. And we're aiming for maybe about 5 on each side with this. And other side. And again, you may have one side that's better than the other. I certainly do. Focusing on not holding your breath. So think about letting your breath flow with the movements. Coming back to 2 feet. Okay, one more thing for the legs. So we're going to take that hip up, send it out, take the knee round towards the back and come through. So we're doing a nice circle. Switching furniture. And come through. And we'll do the other side. Okay, bringing that foot down. So we've worked our hips, we've worked our shoulders a little bit. Let's do a little bit of work for our spine. So starting with bent knees, hinging at the hips, coming forward. Now, see how your back feels, particularly the lower back here. Give yourself a little bit of support, hands on the thighs or elbows, and coming down to about parallel with the floor. We're not trying to straighten the legs here, we want to keep them nice and soft. You can pause here. So to get a little bit more length into the lower back, you can tuck your tailbone under and then do a little untuck here. A few of these is a really nice way just to get that lower back moving. I'm going to do one more. And then you can walk yourself back to upright. And then we're going to come a little bit further. Or stick to that same move again. So this time you can stay here, or you can come down, bringing the hands down towards the floor. Breathe into this. So we're just letting the hands come to wherever they go. So you could be on your shins, you could be on your feet, you could be on the floor. Lengthening through the back. Head's nice and heavy, just hanging from the shoulders, cupping the arms, the opposite elbow with the hands, taking a breath here, and then we can place the hands on the legs, come back to halfway, and we can walk back. So upright, we're going to do one more. So remember, choice, it's your body, see how it feels. Either coming to here or a little bit lower down. And this time we could do a little bit of stretching into the hamstring here. So coming to you wherever your choice is, and we could gently straighten the legs, feeling a nice little stretch down the back of the thighs, and then soften. And one more. And then coming back to upright. So we're just going to finish off with a little bit of movement just to generate a wee bit of blood flow in the body. So we could take ourselves to about hip width, wider than hip width apart, a nice wide stance. You can take yourself over to one side. So it's always quite good to do things one side than the other, so you can compare how one side feels to the other. So this is going to be a little squat. but it's going to be like a single leg squat. So there's no weight really into my other leg, weight is over the leg that I'm going to squat down here. And then we come down and then press back up. And then down and press back up. And again. You could alter the angle of this so you could get a little bit more, so you're getting a little turn in the hips as you come down. Or you could stay facing forward. I'm going to go to the other side. So again, shifting the weight over, so I'm going to my other side here. Little squat down. And again. And again, if you want to, you can stay like that, or you could give it a little bit of a turn. So you're turning towards your other side. Just moving in a different way. Okay, lovely. Bringing the feet back to hip width. So let's just give our back a little bit of work. We can bring our hands out in front, palms facing up, elbows close in, and open, inhale. As you open your chest, so feel your shoulder blades come together, and then relax back in, and then open again, and back in, and again. 2 more. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to finish off just with a nice flow. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, you can take the hands down and sweep down, bringing yourself into forward fold here. Bending the knees, turning the palms out, coming back up to upright. We'll do one more. So it's just a nice full body flow. Last one. And back to upright. And then we can bring your hands down by your sides. Give ourselves a little shake and go on with the day.